Hello, the internet. Welcome back to My Legit Reviews. I am Marv, and today we're going to talk about something that I like quite a bit, which is Fitbit and the brand new Fitbit Charge 4. I'm pretty excited about it. So what we're going to do is just tear open the box, see what they put inside, what kind of charger, etc., what it feels like. And if you stay around to the end, I'm going to do just a real quick side-by-side with the Fitbit Charge 2, side-by-side with the Charge 4. All right, let's jump in. So we're just going to tear open the box and call out the newest, greatest features, which they call out right here on the front themselves, which is built-in GPS and Fitbit Pay. So we're going to talk about those in just a minute. So we got here a nice little handy tear tab. Rip that open. Pulls out, and this is a really pretty display right off the bat here. Don't want to drop anything, but you can see how it's nicely displayed in there. So let's pull this out of here. Again, another little pull tab thing. And it's nicely wrapped up. Nothing too fancy here. So we'll just peel off this stuff. It's branded, of course. Let's get that in front of the white background so you can see it a little better. Nice round form factor there. Pretty dark, isn't it? I wanted the blue one, but those are out of stock until June. Band's pretty cool with that like beveled cross pattern there all the way around. It feels very light. All right, set that aside for a second. All right, here's another band piece. Let's see how that compares to what we got over here. The Fitbit Charge 4 does come with a small and a large. So what's on it is the small. And the other item in the box is going to be your charging cable, standard USB plug for that. And the end here, it's nicely rounded, not terribly long, about 18 inches. So no brick to charge with, which is expected, that's fine. So the screen on this, it feels glass. I couldn't find any information about this, whether it's glass or whether it's plastic. So we will have to dig into that. Okay, so let's talk about their two newest features, which are pretty awesome. Now, they're claiming that this Fitbit Charge 4 gets 7 days of battery life, which is awesome. However, if you look at the small print on the box, I found that here it says, varies with use and other factors up to 5 hours, not days, 5 hours with GPS. So let's say your battery's down at 30% and you want to go for a quick run with GPS. You may be looking at a device that powers off before you finish your run because it can only pull 5 hours with GPS running. So that's just something to keep in mind. The other thing is Fitbit Pay. And I haven't found anything that's anywhere talking about Fitbit Pay. All I could find was their own website, which has dozens and dozens and dozens of banks listed that participate. So some of the banks that they've listed, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, US Bank, Chase, and literally dozens and dozens more. It could even be hundreds. I mean, it was just an enormous list. You can check that out on their website to see what banks participate in Fitbit Pay. I did want to give you a much closer view of this just so you can see it in the real world, not just with their fancy rendered images that they've made on the website and on the boxes. So this is what it really truly looks like. It's pretty nice. Very shiny screen, and you probably aren't even going to be able to pick this out, but right in here it's ghosted. It says Fitbit right in there. And that's not part of the display, that's just behind the glass. All right, let's take a look at what happens to this when it powers on for the first time. I am using as my phone, the Google Pixel 2. I really want you guys to see what happens when this powers on. However, I'm not getting any power on, which is indicating to me that you actually have to charge this puppy before you can use it. I put the band on my arm, attempted to power it on. I got nothing to happen. So what I'm gonna do is connect it to power right here and we'll see what happens now. Little happy face. Okay, I've got it charging. And let's see what happens when we launch the Fitbit app. Go to set up a device. Charge for setup. Yep, of course. Next. Found it. Got a check mark on the screen. There we go, 50% battery, and we see the time. I did want to point out a couple things. Here, when you jump into Charge 2, you get all the stats of just what's going on. When you jump into Charge 4, you get a completely different layout of everything here. You do see these old stats, same thing as Charge 2, but now you've got this kind of grid layout. And of course, you get the new feature here with the wallet to get that set up. I did want to real quick point out one thing. With the apps, it says in a lot of their materials that they're really proud that you can control Spotify with the Fitbit Charge 4, which is pretty cool. So let's just take a quick peek at what the apps thing looks like. I haven't even opened this yet, so let's hit it. What are we gonna see? So they're listing a bunch of stuff on there. When you jump into all apps, right down there, Spotify, and you can see that I don't have that installed. And that's it. All right, here's the good news and the bad news. I figured out Spotify. I went to install the app within the Fitbit app on my smartphone. It's an app that is offered by Fitbit. It's not built by Spotify. Spotify on Fitbit Versa family, Fitbit Ionic, and Fitbit Charge 4 requires a Spotify Premium account. So there you go, Premium. Okay, I started to take a look at Fitbit Pay. I haven't even got to the step about the banks yet. I just wanted to see kind of what it's all about and how that's going to function, because I know with smartphones, there's something you have to do an unlock or enter a PIN or something. Well, that's the situation here with the Fitbit Charge 4 and Fitbit Pay, is that you have to set up a PIN. And there's two modes that you can use here. They want you to have that unlock with the PIN always enabled, is their recommendation. Enter PIN if you take off the device or every 24 hours. That makes sense. Or you can choose enabled for Fitbit Pay only and enter the PIN for payments. And then it shows you what that looks like right here. You scroll, hit your numbers, kind of like a combination lock. That could be useful or could be obnoxious. We'll see. But for now, it's kind of like, it's fiddly to have to scroll through that thing, you know, you're on your watch. As promised, here's a little side-by-side with the Fitbit Charge 4 in black on the left and the Fitbit Charge 2 on the right. You can see that the button is now recessed completely on the Fitbit Charge 4. The width is just a little bit wider. It's kind of tough to see, but it is just a little bit wider. The band on the Charge 2 should be ignored. Don't look at the band. We're just looking at the form factor of the device itself, because this is not the official band. This is a third-party band. Here's what's interesting to me, is it looks thicker, but less bulbous. They've kind of fattened this up here so that the part that's sensing your heart rate isn't just protruding quite so much. And it's a little more rounded, a little more friendly, so less pokes are likely to happen. Well, thanks for swinging by to check out the Fitbit Charge 4 with me. I've been tinkering around with it for a few minutes and I'm starting to get the hang of it. I think you will too. If you've used a Fitbit in the past, then you'll really know what it's all about. Just a quick recap, new features. GPS, supported by altimeter, Spotify control, and Fitbit Pay. I really appreciate you coming by, taking a look at my video. If you could please support the channel, put a like on the video, leave a comment below about your favorite Fitbit Charge 4 feature or feature you wish it had, and please subscribe to my channel. We'll see ya.